Ryan Kaji, once the golden child of YouTube, the boy who turned playtime into an empire. His world was built on toys, smiles, and endless energy. But now, the smiles seem rehearsed. The toys, just props. And the empire? It's starting to crack. What really happened to Ryan's world? How did the most famous kid on YouTube go from a symbol of innocence to the center of a billion-dollar burnout? This is not just the story of success. It's the story of what happens when childhood becomes a business. The IT began with a simple question. Ryan, a curious young boy watching other kids open toys on YouTube, turned to his parents one day and asked if he could do the same. His parents, Cheyenne and Lone, didn't know that this innocent request would change their lives forever. They recorded him unboxing a toy, uploaded it, and within months, the views exploded. People were drawn to his energy. His laughter felt genuine, his reactions pure. He was not an actor, not a brand, just a child having fun. The comments flooded in. Parents loved it. Kids adored it. And soon, Ryan's channel became a phenomenon. Toy companies noticed. Sponsorships rolled in. His simple living room turned into a studio. His childhood home into a business operation. Ryan's toys became products. His playtime became marketing. What started as fun was now strategy. Cameras rolled every day. His laughter became the sound of profit. As the years passed, fans noticed something changing. The energy wasn't the same. The fun seemed forced. Behind the colorful thumbnails and happy music, there was a quiet transformation. Ryan was no longer just a kid with toys. He had become the product himself. The success was unmatched. By the time Ryan turned 6, he had earned his first $1 million. By 12, his brand was worth over $1 billion. From YouTube videos came TV shows, global toy deals, and sponsorships from major corporations. Ryan's face was on shelves in every major store. His family moved from modest living to mansions. They didn't just make videos. They built an empire called Ryan's World. But the higher the rise, the heavier the weight. Every upload had expectations. Every deal had deadlines. The machine could not stop. Even when Ryan wanted to take breaks, the schedule demanded more. Content was planned months ahead. Toys were released in sync with video themes. His name was everywhere, but his voice was fading. The brand was too big to slow down. As the lights got brighter, the shadows behind them grew. It wasn't just success anymore. It was survival, keeping the empire running no matter how Ryan felt. The world saw a cheerful boy, but behind the scenes, a teenager was beginning to question if this was really his world anymore. Before the cameras, Cheyenne worked as an engineer earning a solid salary. Lone was a school teacher. They lived comfortably until Ryan's videos took off. Suddenly, their lives changed. Sponsorships, partnerships, and millions in revenue began flowing in. From day one, they handled everything: production, marketing, brand deals. They became the architects of the empire. But many viewers began to wonder if their intentions had shifted from family fun to financial gain. Every brand decision, every collaboration, every new product had one thing in common: Ryan's face. The child who once played for fun was now the centerpiece of a global business strategy. In interviews, Cheyenne often described how they saw the potential early on and worked to scale the business. It was no longer a YouTube channel, it was a company. But with each step, the innocence of it all faded. The pressure to keep the machine alive fell on their young son's shoulders. The audience began asking hard questions. Was Ryan still enjoying any of this? Or was he trapped in a system built around him, one he never truly chose? When the internet discovered Lone's past, including an old arrest, it reignited a darker conversation. Could this history explain her relentless drive for success? Some believed her past fueled a hunger to prove herself, to rise above mistakes. Others saw it as evidence of an obsession with money and control. Regardless, one thing was clear: the family had learned how to turn every situation into profit. The YouTube algorithm, the sponsorships, the toy lines, everything was strategically planned, but something about it didn't feel right anymore. Fans noticed the joy in Ryan's early videos had faded. His expressions seemed mechanical, his enthusiasm rehearsed. It was as if the brand had swallowed the boy who started it all. The empire was growing, but the cost was becoming clear. Childhood traded for contracts. Innocence for income. A billion-dollar smile hiding quiet exhaustion. Years of nonstop filming had taken their toll. Ryan's once spontaneous energy turned to fatigue. Viewers started commenting that he seemed tired, bored, even distant. It wasn't just growing up, it was burnout. In one clip, while playing with his father, Ryan misses a cue. His dad corrects him mid-filming. The tension is subtle but uncomfortable. It's a glimpse behind the curtain, the side of content creation few ever see. For most kids, growing up means privacy, mistakes, and freedom. For Ryan, every moment was content. His birthdays, vacations, even school projects, all became part of the brand. As he entered his teenage years, his identity was blurred between who he really was and who he was expected to be. What happens when the child star no longer wants to play the role? What happens when the world that made you famous starts to feel like a cage? Ryan's world was built on joy, but as the laughter fades, the cracks in the empire are becoming impossible to ignore. Ryan is no longer just a child YouTuber. He is a brand, a billion-dollar face. Every episode, every collaboration, every smile has a price tag. Behind the colorful thumbnails and energetic music, a massive machine runs endlessly. Sponsorships are signed. Toy lines are released. Animated shows are pitched. The boy who once played with toys now fuels an entire industry. But what happens when the person at the center begins to change? Ryan is growing up, yet the brand refuses to grow with him. He is 13 now, but his videos still target the same 5-year-old audience that made him famous. The disconnect grows deeper each year. In meetings, his parents talk about expansion, marketing, and keeping the business fresh. But for Ryan, it is not about freshness anymore. It is about freedom. Every video reminds him of what he used to be, not what he wants to become. The empire depends on keeping him young forever, but time will not stop. You can sense the pressure in every clip. The cheerful intros sound the same, but the spark is gone. It is the kind of silence only those trapped by success can feel. The silence of a life that is no longer there. In interviews, Ryan's parents insist that they are protecting his childhood. They proudly explain how they now limit his filming time to 1 hour per week and use animated characters to replace him on screen. To them, this sounds like balance. To the audience, it sounds like damage control. Even 1 hour a week is not freedom when the entire business still carries your name. Every product still bears his face. Every contract still depends on his presence. Even when Ryan is not in front of the camera, his brand never sleeps. The attempt to reduce his visibility is only half the story. It does not address the deeper truth that Ryan's entire identity has been consumed by the empire around him. Fans can sense it. The laughter feels thinner. The enthusiasm sounds rehearsed. The innocence that once made Ryan's world special has turned into a performance. There is a quiet irony in watching a family try to preserve a child's joy by turning it into content. The line between parenting and management has vanished. What was meant to protect Ryan now feels like another way to keep the machine running. Time has a way of changing everything, even the most loyal fans. The kids who grew up watching Ryan unbox toys are now teenagers. They have moved on to gaming, vlogs, or music content. The same toy reviews that once thrilled them now feel distant. The numbers tell the story clearly. View counts have dropped. Engagement is lower. The magic that once seemed unstoppable is fading. The family tries to reignite it by re-uploading old toy videos, hoping nostalgia will bring the viewers back. But it is not working. No matter how hard they try, they cannot freeze time. The internet has moved forward. Ryan's audience has evolved, but the content has not. The empire still tries to appeal to toddlers, yet the boy who built it is becoming a young man. The brand has outgrown its purpose, and the fans have outgrown the fantasy. Every empire faces decline when it refuses to adapt. And Ryan's world, once the definition of success, now stands at the edge of that very truth. The smiles are still there, but the spark that started it all has begun to fade. In one quiet moment, Ryan reveals what he truly wants. He says that when he grows up, he wants to be an animator. His eyes light up, not the rehearsed light from years of toy reviews, but a genuine spark of curiosity. It is a glimpse of who he really is beneath the brand. But freedom is not easy when millions depend on your image. Every decision, every change of interest threatens to disrupt an empire built on predictability. The world knows Ryan as the toy reviewer, not the teenager with dreams of his own. The tension between who he is and who he has to be is tearing the image apart. Viewers can feel it. The performances feel strained. The fun looks forced. Even his laughter, once contagious, now sounds like an echo from the past. This is the tragedy of fame too early, when childhood dreams are monetized before they even have time to grow. Ryan's story is not just about YouTube success. It is about what happens when a person becomes a product before they even understand what freedom means. The world sees a smiling kid with toys. But behind the smile, there is a young man quietly wondering if he will ever live a life that belongs only to him. As the video nears its end, the atmosphere feels heavy, almost nostalgic. Clips of Ryan's early years play back-to-back with recent ones. The contrast is striking. The little boy full of wonder has grown into a teenager who looks ready to move on. But can he? The empire is still massive. The sponsorships still exist. The toy lines still sell. But the energy behind them is different now. You can feel the fatigue, the distance, the quiet realization that something once pure has been stretched too far. For most people, fame is a dream. For Ryan, it became a lifetime before life even began. The future of Ryan's world is uncertain, not because of money or views, but because of identity. Can he redefine himself before the brand consumes him completely? Maybe the real question is not whether Ryan's world will survive. Maybe it is whether Ryan himself can find peace beyond it. Every empire eventually falls, but sometimes its fall is not the end. It is the first real beginning. The screen fades to black. Soft music plays. The voice of a younger Ryan echoes faintly. Remember, always stay happy, guys. And for the first time, the audience wonders if he still believes those words.